Alright, next space turn. Turn processing for this one took a while again. Couple minutes, and I'm wondering to see what happened. We destroyed a Katarn battleship Draconis. We did not have one of our support ships destroyed by one of his destroyers. And the destroyer got caught. We did some naughty things to our planet up there. Ended up with less damage than it started with. I mean, this counts the maximum HP of the planet at the point where the battle ends. So if you destroy some facilities or something that were previously damaged, the ratio might go down. This place is undefended though. You're just dropping the troops. Just dropping some troops. Not sure why it says that the ratio of damage is down. Maybe it counts the HP of the troops that are now on the planet as being part of the planet's HP. That would make sense. Then we lost a large freighter, the Thrax, in Draconis after all, to another Kentaran battleship. Then we destroyed yon Kentaran battleship by a group of 4 battleships. And we swept that little bit of Sawn minefield over there. Then we had 3 of these Kentaran drones. Oh, we had those Busbies do absolutely nothing to our battleships. 2 times. Then we killed them. Once a frigate joined. Oh no, he jumped them through somewhere. Oh no, we jumped them through somewhere, and so they were guarding the warp point. Okay. This is weird carrier. Looks like we encountered that. Oh, 4 drones. Aha, and here. Lost another frigate and half the remaining drones clearing out this planet. I think this one was heavily defended, right? Why in the name of fuck does it always spawn them right next to the planet? These are long-range drones and ships. They're supposed to outrange the planet. Yeah, no planet here but 8 weapon platforms. They're just going to take apart the ship and these drones here. Yeah, unpleasant. It looks like most of the missiles aren't even getting through anymore. And now these are escaping. I'm not exactly sure why they are escaping. One is going in. Now this is one further group that is... Well, they just joined formation around, I guess, some other... Either one of the ships? No, the ships went back. They joined formation around one of these drones that came from outside. So a couple drones spawned outside of the planet radius at the edge of the sector. Now I just have to try and get through the remaining point defense. You can see that these missiles are all dying quite far away from the planet. Just speed it up a little bit. I don't see the structure HP here getting hit. One defense shield of his 8 platforms is sufficient! So they're just going to shoot out all their ammunition. And now they're retreating, probably because they're out of said ammunition. Yeah, they're pretty much shot out. So that operation was not a success. Lost half the force and did not manage to achieve its goal. Raised another Katarn planet in Draconis. You had a couple empty ones there, right? Or one that was empty and one that was almost empty. This is the almost empty one then. And then Gambit here, another combat triggered over this world. So we already had troops dropped onto this one, yeah? Yeah, we did. Not sure what triggered the combat, maybe something else joined this fleet. Raise the planet with drones in Kunaxa. That's this drone group that was supposed to go support or rejoin the the Southern Fleet, just regularly joined the Southern Fleet, which then decided to go upstairs, and we just had it go raise that system. Look at these guys not spawning right next to the enemy planet. Oh, these buzzbees. Dying very, very quickly. There is a massive shield and 4 guardians on this world. But this should be way enough missiles to overwhelm the point defense of this world. Some things are getting closer. Oh yeah, those are some of the missile direct fire drones to be peppered in. Yeah, shields here getting overwhelmed. Now structures starting to take damage. Yeah, it's disarmed. I think we just left them on a maximum range though, so they're going to raise the whole thing. There we go. Broken towns. Another carrier gone. Here by 2 drones. Not sure what he was trying to do with those carriers. Another drone encounter. Looks like we didn't finish that one. Whatever. I mean, they work as scouting drones. They have a basic sensor on there. When I initially saw them, I thought he meant them to be scouting drones, but apparently he's building drone carriers for them. And conquer the one planet in Gambit. Alright, so there was a lot of combat that happened this turn. I guess it would explain why the processing took so long. Anything happened with our allies last turn? Mystic said he lost a fleet that got ground up by weapon platforms on a Gulag planet. Speaker, 28 battleships, fighting 2 drones. Here, this is the fleet. This is the fleet fight he lost. 17 battleships got reduced to 2. Let's look at this replay. Okay, here. There's this planet. Here's the fleet. He's got a lot of these man-eaters. They're similar to my own. He's a bit heavy on PD, I think. He's got null space shields instead of regular shields. But otherwise heavy mounted APBs. He's got his berserker traits that make him do a little bit more damage and shoot a little bit more accurately than I do. So his ships are a little stronger. And facing them is this fleet from the Gulag side. Something's up with the slots. I think he's using a different slot layout and the numbers don't match. And so you can see these components being in weird slots where they're not supposed to be, like armor slots. I'm not sure if that actually counts as being part of armor. I don't think so. I think they just get displayed as being in an armor slot because slot number 28 on the shipset that I have locally is an armor slot instead of the internal slot or whatever that's supposed to be. Okay, so these have an incinerator, large mounted, 2 APBs, large mounted. He's got a bunch of these light cruisers. He's got pulse staves. Also APB destroyers, so some lighter direct fire warships. Of course, the ships are much smaller than all these battleships, and I think there's not more than them, so he's outmassed by quite a bit. Random drone in there. PD drone. And the planet with 5, 6, 9 weapon platforms. With Vault 2. Wave motion guns, a large weapon platform mount, 130 range, and hurt. And he also got APBs on there and shields. I've got 5 shields, not these large weapon platforms. And as we know, they apply their shields both to the planet itself and to themselves. Yeah, there's another vault too. There's a Jared incinerator. So it's such a small weapon platform. This one just has 1 shield. There's Flakthrum, which is point defense. Back from when he was scared of plasma missiles, I guess. And there's a Fearling, which has a plasma missile itself. Older ones. Big resource production on this world. An important world, I suppose. But in actual direct fire units, there is not all that much here. So Krog is also the guy who is now giving orders to the Gulag. So he's using the same strategy here that he had his ships on the Eee collective use against me downstairs, which is stay next to the planet. Okay, the big range here is the one of the wave motion gun. All his man-eaters are coming in. Let's see. These couple wave motion guns really do that much damage. Or that one wave motion gun and a bunch of APBs on that planet. Some missiles launching, whatever. I guess those were the missiles, the outer radius. There's the wave motion gun. Oh yeah. Managed to disable that shit right away. They get into range quickly enough. Another battleship disabled, getting hit by a destroyer. Aha, and there we go. Some of these destroyers are starting to shoot, and the planet keeps tanking for now. There's still no damage on these platforms. Half speed. But all the ships from Mystic are shooting the planet and are mostly hitting shields and web platforms and the facilities. And he is getting shot at by the fleet here. These ships are just dying one after another, being hit by all these guns from the planet and the fleet behind it. Now some of his ships are engaging the fleet behind the planet. Most weapon platforms still operational. Well, that's it for his fleet already. Some of these here are still shooting the planet, which is tanking for the ships, really. Okay, so that's a strategy that worked out well. You essentially have the planet and all its HP, with all the facilities and the double applied shield generators from the weapon platforms count twice. You're not disabling anything, you just decide to there's a nice spot to have. Aggravator? Oh, that's one of his personal battleships. They shoot a big as volley that against the combined PD and too much. Still shooting that planet, which still has live weapon platforms. There's another aggravator plasma battleship. Real speed now. The ship is still deciding that this is the best spot to be. Planet still slowly getting HP down. Final weapon platform on this world. The one with the 5 shields and the wave motion gun. Doesn't appear to be hitting very much though. There was his point defense gun shooting at the drones that were completely in range, I guess. Okay. Now his platform is toast. So yeah, the colony still exists. They're still deciding that staying in the colony means staying over here, so they don't engage, and they apparently decide that they're in exactly the range they want to keep from the colony. And don't need to move. Both these aggravators still exist. Yeah, mind if the ships here don't chase them, so they can keep pouring stuff into the planet. Alright. Some other point defense guns going into the drones. Destroyers got blue range one. Yeah, these two aggravators can take down one of these destroyers if they get close enough. Okay, now they're moving. Lander is pretty much toast. Of these battleships is gone, no, they're both deserted. Okay, now it's just the aggravators. But the planet is almost toast, just some facilities left on it. I mean, not having to rebuild all these is going to be great. Heavily damaged facilities, but of course we would have to finish it off. But the aggravators shoot at the closest thing. And the closest thing is always going to be the blob, which still remains in position because the colony is not dead yet. Alright. Interesting combat. And now time's almost run. So, let's look at the other tabs. We lost a ship to mines in Cydonia. We've managed to sweep the 25 mines from the zone. And we have maxed out the minefield over there on the northern front. Okay, where's the ship we lost to mines? Over here. This must be an E minefield then, huh? Or do we not have Slurpy minefield codes? Minefield codes. Okay, that must be an E minefield. Must have laid that. In the meantime, they're not engaging each other. I don't know why they're just sitting here. I think Mr. E would have something to gain from taking out this threat next to his systems. Wherever he can, he's probably going to. He's put defenses on most of these worlds. Some of these are more heavily defended than others. So taking out these might cost him some resources and attrition, which he probably doesn't want to spend. Okay. Let's go further here. Ships are taking damage, moving into an ass belt, that's fine. Ships here, I believe I've already given back to him. Why is this one straggling behind? I believe I've sent out the message to give these back to him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10. These are 1 through 5 and number 10. Oh, there. They still have move orders. Okay. Should there be some mines left in here? Yep. Now we have a 2000 minefield in this place. Okay. I think we just sent a drone through there, did we? Maybe an eagle. Doesn't matter much. Damage taken, flying into another ass belt. Ships can take it. New colony in Difta. That is the moon in our home system that we, for some reason, overlooked. The reason being flags too big. Too much nationalism. Okay. With these values, I'm going to have to put you on research. I'm going to want to put you on research. 5 labs, a central computer, 200 happiness boosters. And that's going to be your life. Colony enroll. You are going to be a researcher intel as well. Do we already have something? Okay, look, satellite. Do we have something picked out for these? Intel? Yeah, why not? Let's make this intel as well. There's not too many planets in this place, and we can make this an Intel center. Benefits from like an Intel directorate once we research that. Okay, I'm deleting 2 facilities, one for the data bank, and I actually want a shipyard here first. And since you're relatively close to the front line, let's put an protection pattern. No, I was going to go through my entire empire and add one to all planets. Just blanket. Okay, before I go through ships. The local administration is administration. The local administration is very corrupt, and people in Delphi don't like that. Okay, their happiness doesn't really matter to me. They don't have anything that produces anything on there. I'm gonna screenshot that event to give to Quark to fix the typo. Evolution event. Okay, yeah, you also need to queue troops of happiness. No, wait, you come dark side. You don't need to. Okay, whatever then. It still affects the reproduction rate of the people on that world, but still should be about it. Command politics intel. Space have retrieved details on a construction queue location. They have a concentration of 13 construction queues operating in the Klaatu system. Is that also the number of planets in the system? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if there's 13 here, there might be an extra orbital ship yard, like a builder ship. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so yeah, he does not have any particular shipyards in there, just all his planets and maybe one orbital yard. He has designed the Norbert. Happier because of military protection provided to colonies. That's the ships in orbit or in the system. Tens of troops on our planets. The secret police. That's it for this tab. Okay. Research. We tech level 9 in shipyards. Level 10 is going to be just this much. It increased by 4k per turn, so next turn it's going to be 44k, which is what I can afford in a turn. So let's just have you do the remainder of this tech level, and we can do a full level next turn. Dump the rest into Planet Util. I'm not sure if it maxes at 10 or 11. I can look it up, but I don't need to, because I can handle either situation. Alright. Anything else? Construction tab, yeah, right. Build a couple of these satellites. No, not fighters. You need to launch sats. You also build one? No. You're the one I conquered. What do you have on your research facilities? You can have so many more. Right, let's designate your research compound. But what I really want on you is some protection platforms first. Build an IPP, maybe a battery. No, I don't think you need that. Here's level 3 labs, same as I did before. And for that you can just go queue research centers, I guess. Just make this a happy economic planet. It's still far the front line. I might want to put something else on here. I might want to put orbital yards on here. This is a nice place for that. Spread around more orbital yards. I have a lot of intention bry down here. But just having distributed yard locations is a good idea in general. This would be a nice location for it. How about you? Queue up components fact. And orbital yards. First you do that though. And then with the first 2 or 3 orbital yards we are going to build more orbital yards. Alright. And we already launched a set that we built here. Should also build one over there. Then this one is just going to fill itself up. Okay. Alright. So much for the conquered planet. Then what do we have here? The firm has repaired itself. You can go there. We should upgrade you. There's no reason for you to run around with ion engines. There was a Firmus 3 design we made once, but it was really just different in order to capture different kind of ship. Did I obsolete them all? I might have. Probably said something like, if I ever need an upgrade of these, I will unobsolete them. Ship boarding, okay. Upgrade yourself into some quantum engines. Cheap out on an engine? No. So be all quantums all the time. You can make do with less of these. I think that's how I did it on the other ones. But you now have a lot more space too. You can now have extra shield gens. So Firmus 4. Could also just refit you into not being a boarding ship anymore, since the technology they will have above us is going to be low. They're not going to have much of a tech advantage anymore. There won't be much for me to capture. I'm gonna put an extra boarding part in here because the ships we face are bigger now. Battleships, large freighters, all that. I'm going to put a repair pod. Because repair pods are always cool and good. And it's really there to restock the boarding parties right away. 10 of ship tonnage means that we're able to repair one of these, no, half a boarding party per turn. So 6 turns until it repairs itself. It's still long. We figured out one large depleter is not enough to take down the regenerating shields of one of these Geiger counter remote mining ships that the Cantarans have. I don't think I really need to aim for those though. I would prefer to put mining stations in place, and I don't think I really need the resources with any urgency that I could get by just capturing some refining ships. Tractor beams are pleasant for these. The secondary ops to get shit to come closer. There's of course only so much you can put onto these. Change out one of these for PD Blaster. Or PD Beam, yeah, I think so. Sensor would always be nice. Sensors are nice on ships. Because we only have one bomblet now. Let's remove that. Do we need this many shields? I mean, the shields on the original design were needed to take down things like Sanics, frigates that have just one gun, tank it for long enough to get close. Let's remove it. Put in a tractor beam instead. Allow you to close much better. Okay, now we have 10 kilotons of space remaining. Put in some extra armor plates. Could put in combat sensors, but I think there's no need. Yeah, this is fine. You're going to be on your capture ship. What should not be able to refit because it's too expensive. Okay. Very good here. Okay, the system is pretty much secured by now. There's nobody passing through here, right? So there's no surprises coming in from the unprotected south warp point. No, just my traffic. Okay. That minefield is no more. We have the fleet here going around raising stuff. Platform, subspace transmitter. You just roll up his empire. One damaged drone left behind there, okay. Raise, 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 raise. Delete all the remaining planets this turn if you can. If you have enough supplies and ordnance to do so. Build anything? Some of these weird drones. It looks like he's building them pretty much everywhere. Sure what they're supposed to do. I mean, with the PD guns, they can technically shoot at other drones. But there's just so much wasted tonnage in that design, you know. They really don't need a combat sensor, each of them. If they're fighting missile drones, they don't need the ECM. The stealth armor is not going to be much benefit for them. It'd be better to have normal armor. You can't stealth these with them, I believe. I'm not sure. Scattering effect blocks. No, they don't have a scattering effect. That's a different armor. The combat thruster might be relevant, but keep in mind, 10 kilotons on a very limited 100 kiloton size drone. If you just yank out the stealth armor, the ECM, and the sensor, you can put 3 darts on here. And your drone would be 3 times as good. Then yank out the combat sensor and put in 2 real plates of armor for some 150k HP structure. And you might have something. The nice thing is you can use the non-combat drone cores because these are only defensive weapons. I believe my drones will need to put in real cores, in the 20 size combat drone cores. Otherwise you can't use real weapons, quote unquote, like missiles or direct fire weapons. Point defense weapons you can use without. Okay, then up here. That was the plan we failed at raising, so this fleet needs to go home. It's almost depleted anyways. How about you just join up with the fleet that is currently raising Kunaxa? You can reach until there, just go and warp to that place then. We have a fleet occupying this warp point. So we got here a Gomez 6. He's got a new Gomez design. Let's compare it. It's got tachyon sensors which block 40 kilotons into each of these. Must be scared of cloaked stuff. It's got 2 flux pods to generate supplies, even though he's probably not going to go very far away from his own systems. Whole battery of null space generators with all their tonnage that are going to be hit last in the internal slots. Quantum 3s. Some supplies for the last 5 kilotons, I guess. Well, yeah, 4 phase disruptors, heavy mount. 120. Do you have 4 on number 4 or was it 6? Show me space combat. Gomez 5 had 3 heavy ship mounts and 1000 kiloton battleships. So he's got bigger battleships? No, he's still at 1000. He's still not getting technology from the E and Skurak, unfortunately. He's got 4 mounts, heavy mounted phase disruptors in here, 5 darts, like 1625 extra HP. And he's reduced his armor, the emissive armor that was not very effective. It would be great if you had direct fire fighters shooting at this. Like I think the Slurpees used. Maybe that's why he chose to protect them this way. And shield regenerators. Yeah, he's done away with the shield regenerators. Just a stealth armor plate on here, probably for a 4% defense modifier. Sensors that can definitely detect me. Sight level 12. Okay, he's also upgraded his sensors there. They can also see my scouts, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's a more effective design, definitely. This is fine. I would do some minor adjustments, like I would cut the flux ports, I would use the tachyon sensors on a separate ship instead of putting one on every battleship. But if he has these flying around individually, I guess it's fine. Put a null space in the external slot somewhere. But otherwise, this is fine. A fine warship. Good adjustment. Of course, as long as he only has a couple of these, they won't save him. Okay, let us review the planets here. We prepped this one for invasion. There's still one platform remaining. No populace. This Gomez needs to be intercepted. That Gomez needs to be intercepted. This one is 6 tiles away. Can his tachyon sensor see that? Yes. Just barely. Just keep yourself out of range there, I guess. Do we still have sight on the system? Yes, we do. One of his attack destroyers. One more of his attack destroyers. Okay, I just want to have vision here once he has one of these tachyon sensors out somewhere. I'm not going to be able to keep these ships around for long. Oh, you're on survey system. Okay, go uncover that last hex over there, and then also go into Aldebaran. Hard to chase drones are also great ways to scout, but this is an older drone. This one only has 11 speed. Okay, you were just set to raise everything. Let's see if you can actually manage to raise 5 in a turn. Just barely building colonizers in this system. I have to queue up some for this one as well. Also this system, I never queued up anything here though, right? I want to get the spaceport up first. Get that free mineral income. A couple of research facilities here. Two is green, two is oxygen. Medium, large, tiny, small. Yeah, it's not the highest priority to colonize all this, but yeah, we should sooner rather than later, of course. Colonization. That one, please. Are you good enough to go do this in a turn? One. For better visibility. If you move this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are an essential gas volume 6. This will scrunch together. No, 8. You have 8 movement speed. Okay. Can hardly make out whether it's 6 or 8. Okay, with 8 moves you can do this. 1, 2 to load, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 to colonize. Go nuts. And right here, establish your rocks. 13. Establish gas 13. Establish ice 13. Oh, did I build them for this system here already? Okay, this is rock, and this one is ice. Perfect. Send them over there. Forgot I had already queued some here. Go there. Actually, you do want to load pop. This is a domed colony. Because you're also going to found a domed colony. Then the rock ones don't need to load pop. Best if they had Kantaran pops on there later. The gas one. Go there, don't load pop. I'm going to wait for Slurpee migration. Alright. One more building, two more building, and then we're going to finish this turn. You are going to finish this turn. You can have troops there. You could actually have real troops, or just picking them up once I need them. But the front line is going to get continuously farther away from this place, is it? So these are all still busy. Planet is still busy. The planet is also busy. Okay. Wait one's orders. Alicinius. That is largely full with mines. Which way do I want to have you go? I think I do want to have you go up here because we have absolutely no mines up in this space. Tell you to go here, you will pick the way through Gambit. Okay. Go there. Ask me for orders again. You're the damage drone down here. What's that just a buzz be? Yeah. Go to the next repair facility. This one? I guess it would be this one. Just heal yourself up, I guess. Fresh Eagle finished. So if you go into the home system of the, no, this is not the home system, but into this system of the Kantarans, with the idea that you can continue downwards, probably get seen by the E sooner rather than later. A Nova Hawk. The fleet missile support ship. You're not really good for joining this fleet because you're too slow, you don't have the solar sail. I just meant to pepper these into my regular fleets. What do you do with your life? I'll chuck you into a fleet up here. Yeah, let's do that. This is waypoint 3. Go chase after waypoint 3 then. Okay, then we have the Pactianos here. They're all loaded up with troops. This place has no troops remaining. Good. Launching that set. The Firmus is not involved in that, and you can just go and rejoin your spots. Individual operation capture ships here. Okay. The fourth one is going to reload its own troops. The multi-invasion fleet can continue on towards the next world we need to multi-invade. And let's have you exit out of warp one tile before you run out of movement slots. Not to have the Pactianos rejoin you there. Actually, the fleet is slower, you can move one further. There. And then you can combine next turn and invade this world. Maybe I should not have them all in the fleet. If they cannot invade and then reload troops in the fleet during a turn. Although it looks like we're not going to invade this one. What's with this one? Oh, what did I just say about individual battleships? He has a small force here. 4 of them, that is 5. For this one it's 6. Where's that Gomez going? Does not look like it's joining that one. No, it's heading down here somewhere, okay. Maybe towards the waypoint. Okay, what's on the world? Nothing. Nothing at all. Okay. So this is something for Zeta Fleet to go and attack. Did you come through the warp point before? Yeah, 2 of you came through the warp point before, and 2 are already on the world. I'm going to have these guys raise that fleet, raise that colony here real quick. Afterwards, I can do that one. And I'm going to send you to chase around these ships. They don't stick with the colony there, and then you can head back towards the warp point. You're scheduled to go down there. Okay, what do we have here? Morphodor in a mineral belt. Build a mineral station. The established manner. We don't really need stage 1 and 2 anymore if we already have stage 3, right? I mean, for the tier 2 mining operations, only have those unobsoleted now. We're not building any of the non-Mark 2 anymore, so let's go remove them from the list. Less stuff we need to score past every time. This one is finished. These guys can go move on then. Move on with your lives. There's an airspat there, that looks nice. Your planet without a job. It's the one behind you that has the shipyard. Oh, too bad. Oh, the shipyard place also needs something to do though. Not checking anything for our defensive platforms right now. I don't really see much reason to take the massive mount right now, and the finished or the ultimate version of it would be if I were to maximize wave motion guns anyway. So I think I can just go ahead and drop the weapon platforms onto every planet now. Let's recheck the design. It's just the wave motion gun, the bigly one. And 40 range, just about 1k damage. And then 2 plasma missiles. So I can shoot back at things that are at a distance. I mean, any reasonable force is going to be able to shoot down 2 plasma missiles. But these are minimal defense platforms for taking down minimal attackers. It's gonna be fine. Did they have an upgrade to the scanner jammers they can use? No, right? No. Sectors. Upgraded these recently. Let's go ahead. Add to all? Oh, add to all that are selected. Right now I need to select them all. Select all planets, please. There's going to be a whole bunch that will fail on planets that are already full, like tiny domed colonies where you have 120 police troops already. And they will just show up in the log and I will remove the orders later. Thing is, for many of these colonies, they're also going to take 3 or 5 turns. A lot of these that are currently building Piosos are going to switch to that, for instance. Already building a plasma beam battery here, you don't need the extra integrated protection platform. Select, select, select. And you're one of those tiny ones. Do I want to have a platform on you or the police? Mostly rather the platform. Oh well, no, I'm not going to go and remove the order to build the police from that place anyway. You can see it's a tiny one by having 200 space left. Since I have 1000 plus 20%, it's 1200. The 200 got left over. Not the space dock. Another 200. And these, the longest build queue items that we have in our empire right now. Okay, any more with 200 I missed. We only have 3 of these tiny moons without an atmosphere in our empire. Maybe. Add to all. Integrated protection pattern. There you go. A bunch of them are building them. And if we resort, things already look different. Some special planets you might want to remove it, like planets down here that may already have them. No, you don't have an integrated protection platform. We have a defense control net, which fills much the same role, but doesn't have the Knight's wave motion gun. It'll be fine. Licinius, you're the one we're going to see for a lot more turns. Tonius. Airships and a bunch of warbirds looking to go visit Waypoint 2 in the now conquered Draconis system. Alright. There was a bunch of combats in here. I don't have much sense or coverage. I had some scouts come in. There was a scout from the E up there. I thought I saw it flash real quick. I saw something there for just a brief moment. See if I can pause the recording for the movement log at the right moment. No. Try again. There it is. Yeah, that's the 2 drone group. Okay. So they're moving out further this way, towards the edge of the system. Let's try to chase them. You are piles. Now let's have you do it like this. Let's try to visit all these tiles. If they are moving, you might not catch them. You should want to try anyway. The E probably moved the drone because they want to get an eye on what I have on the war point here now. Okay, not the last one. And he can just see my gobs and gobs of reinforcements. What if you have Theta Fleet, Attack Fleet? You have drone groups, a couple of Deredexes. You are just a Deredex and a Gorgot. Let's undo Theta Fleet, delete Gorgot in here. 9 speed, they could use an upgrade. Right, you were there because you're a slow Deredex. Add more Deredex in here. You're also a slow Deredex. Unupgraded Deredex that made it through. Okay, a bit uneven on your supplies, but you might swap that next turn. So these low on ordnance. Yeah, I needed a Thrax that was on the way and died. Unfortunate. You're building colonizers. You're building more colonizers than the system needs. See, this one was already new this turn, right? Yeah, this one was new this turn. Did I make one for you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Is that I7 here? Sure is. Oxygen volume. New ice? 1, 2, yeah, okay. The I7 is for that one. There's an ice 9 I have here. I believe I made them for these. Okay. Okay, this drone group here. Let's just keep it there to blockade this point. You are going to blockade this point forever. You can move on to waypoint 2, waypoint 2, waypoint 2. I don't have a world down here. So what am I going to do with you? Honestly, the most likely place I'm going to be facing counterattacks right now is up here in Kantaran space. Like on this world, overtake it maybe. But the more organized enemy is, of course, the Eee Consortium. So if I do colonize something down here, a front line colony, to do more resupply depots on and such, I think I can use them more on the road there. Going towards the front. Keep yourself just a little bit outside the firing line there. Just hang around. Wait for your time to come. Okay. Everything here is repaired now, so I'm finally going to move off the repair ships. Everything go to waypoint 2. You're a bit low on supplies, but that can fix itself on the way. You're of course not going to be able to move. There's space dogs out there building more space dogs. You can also go to waypoint 2, and then you can refit those gorgets there at a 9 speed. You can pass on to waypoint 2. You're already a 14, you can pass on to waypoint 2. Okay, what do we have here? Morphodon and air spells. You have got neither great minerals nor great rats. I mean, building a station on these air spells is still going to be worth it. Mostly, with that kind of orc value, you could just as well build an orc one. The thing is, we are collecting organics very efficiently from our planets at 149% orcs value and better, and we can cover all our demand with that. So, still building an orc mining station there would enable me to turn even more of these farms into research facilities. Oh no, it's the wrong view. No, that one takes 20 seconds to load. Not quite, 20 seconds. Oh, this one was cached now though. I could switch the view here easily. 48, yeah. I think I'm just going to make you a mining facility. We're going to need minerals. Mineral overflow is getting worryingly low. It's not 80k anymore. Not getting quite as much from our planets because I'm only taking the good planets to mine minerals with. Covering increasingly much of our demand with mining facilities, remote mining. The remote mining income decreases every turn. That's something to keep in mind. Not fast, but it does. So I built that one. You can go refit that later. Do you already have a job? You do already have a job. On Sentry. Go to Deridex. Go to bonus Gambit. Go to Gambit. It's a couple tiles up there. You're building boomies. Just one boomy. Then you're done. I think you're building more. Yep. These are new and just building themselves up. One of these places I should put in some satellites. Just for view coverage. 2, 3, 4, that's going to be in range. You have not received migration yet. Yeah, whatever, I'll just put you on here. Gonna have to wait until after the space yacht is done though. And we don't need a duplicate IPP here. Probably abbreviating the name of my web platform. You have received migration, okay. Falcon, go towards the front line. But as well building a platform now. There's nobody who's going to not want orders because anything is going to run out this turn. Oh, unless it's a place like this, of course. Upgrades you can do? No, you of course just stay at more plant. It's an operation. We have here Ravenhawk on the attack fleet down here. You should just stay. Could try and push on. I know there's a minefield there, and I know that he knows the size of my mine sweeping capability. So I'm not going to run into it with just as much as I have. I'm going to wait for the new. Actually, give it a sentry order. I'm going to wait for the new minesweepers to arrive. They should only be a couple turns out by now. With here, Eagle. You do a little sweep for this little system. You have how much side range? 5? 5 sectors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can do a sweep like this. And then just go there. Just so that we can see in the movement log if there's anything hiding in the edges. You see it's at level 10. I don't think they have any cloaks better than that. I don't think they have any cloaks at all. Just the cloaking plates, the cloak armor, and that one is not good enough to fool tachyon sensors at this level. They would need physics 4. I believe they had only physics 2 or 3. Physics 1 is the estimate on both, which is of course not true. You need 2 at least for APBs and shields. What was it that unlocked high energy weapons? Was it physics 3 or something else? Okay, we've got a couple ships here. I think you are fine. I don't think I need to have anything sentry here anymore. The last Kantauran asset in the system got taken over. So except for the Rien, I'm going to move you all towards the Gambit war point. Join the fleet over there, or you actually just won't make it. Too bad for you. You can stay there at waypoint 3. This fleet I could move towards the Zeta fleet here. Instead of going back, let's give you an order to remain there. And then we can combine our fleet there. You are going to be there at what point? You have 11 moves in the fleet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're going to be there pretty late in the turn. Ideally, you want to have the big fleet arrive first before the other ones come. And that is assuming you don't get crippled by these weapon platforms. There's 5 Guardians on there. 4 Guardians and a Guardian 2. Interesting. So I'm going to time it so that they all arrive at their last movement point. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Are these negative in any way? No. And these are 2 more. So going there is enough if you have 10 movement. Going there is going to be enough if you have 11 movement. And then the 12 movement can be that one. 11th. You don't need to be there on the very last movement slot. Okay, I'm fine with that. Then I can just combine themselves on that place, and I'm going to leave this warp point unprotected for the moment. Might have some of his destroyers run through, but that's fine. Maybe he will cancel any orders since he sees that I currently, during the orders phase, have this place occupied. Okay. Another eagle here. You just stay next to the warp point and wait for orders. And that's it for orders to give to our warships. Okay. Anything else we want to do? Take care of research. We've given everybody an order to build a weapon platform, just to have a bit of minimal defense. Base yards going up, or spare resources are going down. The surplus is going down. So after I finish my current bout of tax, I think I'm going to go for more economic ones. Yet again, to finance the increased consumption afforded by the shipyards. Until I don't think anything interesting there. I don't need to give money to my allies since they're fine. One is slow build, the other one lost a fleet and now has reduced maintenance demands. So he's currently, with all the tariffs I'm giving him, 24k minerals in the plus. Which is just as much as I am by now, actually. Oh yeah, let's go screenshot them that. Good. Comments, mineral surplus going down. Can look at the comparison screen once more. Nothing new here. Resources are an absurd 628k from planetary income only. Right, if we sum this up, 320 plus 240 is 560. Yeah, it's like 610 from planetary income, and then we have some extra 180k from mining stations. The income from my ally here is not that big from remote mining. He makes 10k minerals and 10k rats from remote mining, although he's using the ships, so he can just move them out of the asteroid belt whenever he doesn't need them to mine there, which right now he doesn't, but it appears he still has them inside. He's commenting that I'm spending twice as much on my construction queues than he is. Yeah, he's spending 50k minerals on his construction queues. I have 115 now. This number. A lot of this is just the 140 planets that I have. And the number is yet rising. But I've also expanded my shipyards everywhere. I'm building yet more. He has pretty much all his shipyards concentrated on his homeworld here. He has 31 stations. Whereas I've spread them around. I don't need them in my homeworld here at the edge of the map. I need them somewhere down here. And even if one place gets conquered, I still have some shipyard locations behind it. Oh, here in the Viridian system. A couple more here that I can expand if need be quickly. Of course, there's already a bunch there. In the Tentrabri, about 16 stations. I'm also going to be building more closer towards the front line here again. This place, that place. Yep. Nothing else interesting here, I don't think. The tech levels still show that the Centaurans have not joined the tech share group. That is basically just Quark now. Population killed some Centaur pop that actually makes a dip in there. We had that little dip after we deleted facilities to build our central computers, and our rise is quite notable. Rise in research is meteoric, with the added central computers finishing now and the education achievements coming to affect the last couple turns. It's still going to go up like this for another turn or two, and then it's going to start falling off, but still rise continuously as long as more labs finish. There's still a lot of central computers I have queued at the end of some lab queues. Alright, resources. Pretty smooth going for everybody. Of course, I have the most, but the Gulag, ever since their homeworld got dropped and they started taking losses, a bit of a rocky road. Nautican towns starting to drop too. Research. What's this? It's not Cantown. Oh, it's Mr. Twilight up here. He's started to increase his research. Might be the research centers. Some of it is going to be the research directorates here, the first little increase. Some of it might be the education. I think he's also started to build central computers though. Okay. I won't yap anymore. Let's hand in turn.